in the various models that are out there for healing from trauma and recovery models, and the model that we use here at Daring Ventures, the couple center recovery model, that first phase of seeking safety and stability is critical to lay that foundation to get them to disclosure. Disclosure helps establish that safety and stability. But after disclosure, they begin to move into phase 2, which is around grief work. And you talk about how sometimes it's more obvious to see how the betrayed partner is facing grief. You talk about how the addict is also going through his or her own grief process. So can you talk a little bit about what both of them, each of them, are grieving, what they've lost?
I think their very first stage of grieving has to do with understanding what they're grieving. I've lost something. The level of disorientation must be so overwhelming for a betrayed partner. So I think that particular aspect is for the betrayed partner. What am I grieving? What have I lost? What has my life been like? The disclosure information at least helps begin to situate them toward orienting that grief with some clarity. That takes significant time. The addict is a little clearer about what they're grieving at the outset because they know what they've done. And even after the disclosure, the betrayed partner will still have questions about that, which sometimes that's where a lot of the coaching comes from. For the addict is how to be available to their partner when they're still asking questions, and they're going to be asking questions. They have a right to that. One of the things generally that the addict will write in the disclosure is, I want you to ask questions. I want to help orient you toward the facts of my behavior. And so it's not as if there's a reading of the disclosure and suddenly the betrayed partner is clear about what they're going to be grieving.
Sure.
They're actually still trying to sort through the facts to figure out what have they lost. The time that they've lost, the relationship they've lost, the joys that they've lost, the memories that have to be resituated and understood.
Yes.
That's extremely overwhelming for a betrayed partner. For the addict, he has some clear understanding of what he's lost, but he needs coaching around clarifying that. He knows he's lost time. He knows he's lost money. He knows he's lost real intimate relationship.
Trust.
But absolutely, that's where the trust is lost in that real intimate relationship. So he has to come to terms with how to understand precisely what he's lost. Because if it's true that an addict has avoided intimacy, and now he's at this place where he's disclosed this information, if he hasn't really known what real intimacy and vulnerability is, then he doesn't really know what he's actually lost. He can know it intellectually, but it's when they begin to learn what is intimacy, what is vulnerability. Then they look back across their life and they begin to see, wow, what I'm feeling now in this intimate moment with my partner, I could have been feeling all along. And that can be very overwhelming, but it's necessary in order for them to begin to weave their story together. And I really believe fundamentally that the addict has got to learn how to take the lead in actually weaving the story together. And I think there are certain methods and approaches to help them do that.